Hafa Guam, I'm Jesse Leon Guerrero for Joint Region Marianas, and I'm here today at Asan Bay Overlook with Mr. James Elkey, Cultural Resources Program Manager for the War in the Pacific National Historical Park. Now James, what can you tell me about this beautiful spot?
So we're standing at the Asan Bay Overlook, which is aptly named because of the fact that it looks down upon the invasion beaches where the United States Marine Corps came ashore on July 21st, 1944 at 8:30 in the morning. Waking up the morning of July 21st and seeing the entire horizon filled with American ships. We had over 500 American vessels that were in the area. It was not a good situation for the Japanese defenders. There was 18,500 of them on the island. We don't know how many we faced that morning because of all the pre-invasion bombardment. One of the initial objectives of the 21st Regimental Combat Team that landed in the center of the invasion was to take and secure these cliffs that are down here behind us and this high ground that forms the overlook today. They are one of the few regimental combat teams. There was 3 of them that landed in the 3rd Marine Division, the 9th on the right, 21st in the center, and the 3rd Regimental Combat Team on the far left. The only one of those teams that actually reached their objective that day was the 21st. They made it up here to the top in the late afternoon. They immediately started getting fire from the higher ground over here to the area behind us, and then they tied in their lines with the 9th Marines over on the right-hand side. But it wasn't for many, many days until they actually were able to tie together their defensive line with the 3rd Regimental Combat Team, who was trapped underneath where those cliffs are today in Flag Circle and the Admiral's House. And they were just going to a square on a map. So they couldn't be told to take Nimitz Hill because it hadn't been called Nimitz Hill. This was Palisao. This was Opop. So these areas were Chamorro farmlands, if anything else, but they were just told to go to this grid, get to this square, establish a defensive line, tie in with the guy beside you, make sure nobody can get through you, and then shoot at anything that comes at you from that direction because it's enemy, and anything coming this way, give it a call sign. And so the biggest issue is the fight up this hill, but on July 25th, the Japanese did what a full frontal assault with everybody that could carry a weapon or a spear or a sharpened stick, rushed down over this hillside into the American lines and slammed headfirst into the 3rd Marine Division, where they were completely decimated. It's estimated the Japanese lost 2,500 men right here on July 25th, going into the morning of July 26th as part of this banzai charge into the 3rd Marine Division. So once that charge had been broken and once that defensive line had been broken, the Americans were able to push up over the top of this hill and start to drive to the north in the seizure of the island by August 10th.
Clearly we have different sections of this historical spot here. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about that. I know that we've done some ceremonies up at the top, and usually people, I guess because of the view, the beautiful view here, they usually spend some time here as well taking photos.
So the Asan Bay Overlook was established originally in 1994 as part of a congressional mandate where we were able to get funding to build the overlook facilities up here, specifically to see the battlefields and to interpret what happened during the invasion and how the invasion progressed up here to the high ground. But it was also established so that we could put in a wall that would memorialize those that had fought and died in the invasion of Guam and in service of the United States military, to commemorate the 1,880 members of the U.S. military who died, to commemorate the 1,170 Chamorros who were killed during the conflict on Guam, not just in the retaking of the island, but through the 32 months of Japanese occupation. And then to place all of the names of everybody that was on the island that went through forced march, through the building of the defensive works for the Japanese, and to commemorate those families and those people who had actually been on the island. Today, the Overlook is going through a rehabilitation process. So this year, we are putting in all new plaques, all new names, all the way around. By the end of 2014, this is going to be a very sharp-looking place. So.
Well, that's our show for Island History. We hope you enjoyed it, and we want to thank James again for giving us a wonderful overview of this site, Asan Bay Overlook. For more information, you can go online at nps.gov or visit the T. Style Newman Visitor Center right outside U.S. Naval Base Guam.